Good evening, guys. What's going on? Hope everyone is doing well. I'm in my car. I'm at the gas station. This pump's out of order, but the gas is, $4.30 a gallon for regular fuel, $5.14 for those of you guys that drive the fancy cars or motorcycles. And this video is just about kind of not having enough. I've talked about it before. When your paycheck is just not enough to really get you anywhere, it's difficult because every time you go to the store, these dollars that you have just buy less and less things. You look at what everything costs when you go to the store, and I'm just always surprised. Cookies cost more, cereal costs more, eggs cost more, gasoline costs more, oil costs more, clothes cost more. Everywhere you go, the purchasing power of these things that you earn for your time is lessened, right? They just don't go as far. Cookies used to cost $1, now they're $2, now they're $4. Gasoline, is when you're buying 20 gallons of fuel or 10 gallons of fuel, that all adds up. So if you're not earning consistently more money, or if you don't have a job or a business in which you're earning a very, very, very healthy income, you're going to be constantly squeezed by inflation, because these dollars do not buy anything. They buy less and less as every day goes on. Even this creamer, right? Like, you like to have creamer in your coffee, and that, it can be like $6 for this, $7 for just a normal thing of creamer, or sometimes it's on sale and it's $4 or $5, right? But my point is, you can't control any of what things cost, really, right? You can really only control what you do with your time, and the amount of money that you can earn is to some extent up to you. But it's difficult when, like I said, if you have an income that is pretty stable, like it's not something that goes up 10% a month or 10% a year. Some of these prices go up more than 10% a month. And for some of this stuff, right? If you don't have an income that goes up, you're like I've said before in comments, you're just constantly behind the 8 ball. Most of your income gets eaten up by rent and food and transportation and insurance and basic clothing. And then don't even get me started on like health insurance or things that the health insurance, you have no idea what you're going to pay. You might have insurance, but you still have no idea what things cost. They never tell you what the thing costs. If you go in there for, my brother told me he got a physical, just a totally basic physical. He asked the doctor one question, which was just like a general question, and they charged him like, I don't know, $200 and something. He didn't know he was getting charged, but they just billed the insurance company for a question, right? So it's all just a money grab. Everything is. And if you don't have your own kind of business set up or income set up to where you can make enough of these dollars to pay for all that stuff, you're not going to have any money. You're going to end up in credit card debt. You're going to end up having to trade all of your time just for this paper. And this paper, all your time, that's why inflation's the biggest thief of all time, because you have to trade your time for this paper, and this paper does nothing for you, because it just, every day that you get this, it becomes worth less. It becomes worth less and less and less, and you can't buy anything with it. Look at the price of housing. 4 or 5 years ago, you could have got a house for a lot less, and the interest rate would have been 2 or 3%. Now, a housing payment that is, that used to be $1,800 is like over $3,000, right? So it's easy to complain, obviously. I just am looking for kind of how the average person is going to be able to do it. I think the normal person 30, 40 years ago had some hope. If they went the normal route and they got a normal job and they went to school and they did that, then that, they could pretty much not have to worry about how they were going to afford to live. Now, even in this country, which these are really strong compared to other countries' currency, but it becomes weaker and weaker every day. Everything just costs more for daily existence. So in conclusion, all I'm saying here is this isn't a sob story. This isn't me just trying to say the world, everything's so tough and the world's such a hard place. Each person is kind of on their own. In the past, you could have relied on just doing what you were told to get ahead. But now if you don't do your own thing, and if you don't fight for yourself and create your own situation, if you're reliant on the system for your survival, that is all you're going to ever get. You're just going to survive if you're lucky, right? You're going to be lucky to survive, because you're never going to earn enough money in a normal situation to get ahead. If you're lucky, you'll earn enough money so that you can afford to pay everyone else who owns all the assets, who owns the property, and who owns your vehicle, and who owns everything about your life. You just pay them money, right? So you have to do your own situation and create something on your own if you want to get ahead, right? You guys let me know if you think there's a different option. I mean, I know you can invest money for 30 years, and at the end of it, you'll have couple $1 million, but who knows what a couple $1 million is going to be worth in 30 years. It might not be worth anything, right? It might not be worth much at all. So let me know what your comments are. I appreciate anyone who's made it to the end. You guys can subscribe if you want. That's appreciated. And I hope you guys have a nice evening, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care.